Hello, today I'm going to do a review of the Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation that comes in a dark tube like this. For 1.18 ounces, it's $42 plus tax. It's available at Sephora, lauramercier.com, and at any Nordstrom's and very few Macy's counters. So for $42, it is a pretty expensive foundation, although you get 0.18 more than you generally would with bottle foundations from Chanel, Dior, and Makeup Forever. There's an excellent color range. I'm currently beige ivory in this particular foundation, but the range is just incredible. But this Silk Cream foundation I purchased about maybe 8 months ago, and I've been using it ever since. It is perfect for the winter time. I have combination skin, so I have very dry cheeks and an oily T-zone, and in the winter this is a great foundation. So it covers really well. When I first got it, I was surprised at how much coverage it came with because I didn't really need to use that much at all. And this foundation in particular looks incredibly natural on the skin and blends in flawlessly. So it doesn't look like you're wearing too much foundation. It's not cakey at all, even when you apply powder on top. The one thing is that you must apply powder for the foundation to last. When I wear this foundation by itself, my T-zone tends to burst out with oil production after maybe about 4 hours. But if you do powder, the oil just makes you look rather dewy instead of greasy. So it's a nice look. And this foundation is great for those with redness or rosacea. It is not the most potent cover. You're going to have to use concealer if you do have, cystic acne. However, for rosacea and redness, it's going to cover. My favorite thing about this foundation is that you can use your fingers and still achieve full coverage. You don't have to use a brush. So in the mornings when I'm in a huge rush to get to school or work, I just rub this on with my fingers. It takes me like 20 seconds and my skin is ready to go for powder. Sometimes I don't even have to use concealer if I use this foundation. That's how good it is. It's rather thick but not sticky. I'll show you a little bit of it right now. Looks like that. So I only applied about this much, just about the size of my pinky nail, and as you can see, the coverage is pretty much full. Even though I usually achieve full coverage with this foundation, you can wear it very lightly, and the key to that is just wear less. It still blends in really well. Just make sure you use an even amount all over your face. But I just think this gives such amazing full coverage with so little time. It's just nice to have full coverage. One word of caution though. When I first purchased this foundation, I didn't like it because it accentuated my pores right along my nose, where they're the largest. And that's because I wasn't using a pore minimizing moisturizer. So my DDF Wrinkle Resist Plus Pore Minimizer is the best to use under this because it won't accentuate those pores and those fine lines. Considering it leaves a slightly dewy finish, it's not oily, and I like that it's not a powdery finish because I like to set my foundation. If you don't like to set your foundation, this might not be for you because it will wear off within 5 hours or so. For women with dry skin, this is going to be incredible for you because it is a very moisturizing foundation. However, I would suggest using different kinds of moisturizers before actually wearing this foundation out to see how well the foundation works for you under different kinds of moisturizers, because you never know what's going to react better and react worse with this. I've never heard of anyone breaking out with this, so if you have very sensitive skin, this is going to be good for you. Even people with acne don't break out more because of this foundation, so that's a plus for those of you who are acne prone. And I do get a lot of questions about transfer. That's one of the things. Like I said, you have to set this this foundation with powder. And if you don't, it's going to rub off everywhere. This foundation doesn't technically set like a liquid foundation would. So because it is very creamy, very silky, you do have to set with foundation or else you're going to get makeup all over your friends' clothes and your boyfriend's clothes, and I'm sure nobody really likes that. Another thing is that you do have to shake it. I would usually tap it and then shake because it will separate a little since it's in a tube. I just generally like to shake all my tube products anyway. And like I said, if you have excessive oil in your T-zone, you are going to have to be careful. You will produce so much oil that you will need a blotting sheet and you will need a touch of powder. However, it's so comfortable on the rest of your face that it's worth taking a look at. I don't think I would use this foundation in the summer. I actually haven't worn it in super hot weather. Generally, I'm indoors because I'm either at school or I'm at work. So, you know, if you are someone who's outdoors all the time, you know, odds are this foundation is going to melt off because it's so creamy. It's kind of like concealer that melts off. And for the slightly more mature-skinned women, this foundation doesn't accentuate fine lines. It only accentuates pores. So it really is beautiful, flawless, and the keyword is natural. You will never look cakey, and that's why this is one of my favorite foundations, and I will always keep this in my makeup collection. I know this was a rather short review, but I do feel that I covered everything that you need to know about this foundation. However, if you do have questions, feel free to let me know what they are, and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.